Good morning, everybody. This time of year, February 1st through 15th, is a very special time of year within the Soto School of Zen. This is the time that we celebrate the nirvana of the Buddha. So I thought I would share with you this image. Maybe it's not so clear here, but this image of the Buddha, you could see his head on this side laying down sideways. And it's the moment of his departing into nirvana or parinirvana or final nirvana. We have all kinds of ideas about nirvana here in the West. So I'll share a little bit about nirvana and what it means. And so the Buddha has a final teaching that he gives during his entrance into nirvana. And basically he's exhorting his followers to take care of their passions, take care of their strong desires, because they're like a wildfire that's within us. And they can lead us to great suffering if we're not careful. And he makes a strong suggestion to be like the bee that takes what it needs from the flower without destroying the flower. And I feel like that is such an appropriate teaching for us today, where especially as an American, it's very, very difficult to consume mindfully, to take just what we need. And this is what the Buddha teaches his students. He says, take only what you need, and don't take on more than you don't live for fame or profit. Those are the two big obstacles in Buddhist practice: fame, desiring to be famous, and profit, desiring to make a lot of money. So he says, don't get involved with that kind of a project. Keep your life simple. Just such a wonderful thing for us to hear, I think. Keep your life simple. Take only what you need and find contentment in that. And he further says, and do what you can to liberate other beings that are suffering. Liberate beings from suffering. That's it. Very simple, clear teaching of the Buddha. And I bring this up at this time because, as I mentioned, this period of time, February 1st through 15th, is the time of where the nirvana of the Buddha is celebrated. Something to keep in mind for our yoga practice, of course, as well. Live simply, take only what you need, do what you can to liberate beings from whatever kind of suffering they might be experiencing. We can start with liberating ourselves from whatever suffering might ail us today in the context of a yoga practice. So let's do it. Let's do it. Ready? So find yourself a comfortable seated posture. Just lean a little bit right and left. I'm actually leaning a little bit forward towards my knee. What this does is give me a sense of where my hips are, and not only where they are, but the muscles surrounding them. And it helps me to isolate those muscles and to stretch them a little bit. If you desire to sit on the floor, then stretching the hips is absolutely essential. I'm noticing here that it's helpful to extend the trunk as you lean towards one knee. Keep the trunk extended. Otherwise, what tends to happen, at least for me, is that the low back tends to bend, and then we're stretching the low back rather than the hips. So the more you extend your trunk, the more you're going to isolate the hips and refrain from stretching the low back, which is often weak because of overstretching. All right. And then let's come back to center. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay. All right. So let's fold forward a little bit, folding in half, folding again, extending out the spine and then coming forward. And here you may want to adjust your knees, the spacing between your knees. So I'm holding on to my knees here and just I'm going to turn sideways so you can get a better sense of this. Holding on to the knees and folding here in half. And really see how the back is kept flat. And there shouldn't be any pain whatsoever in the knees. And the more that you have the knees wide, the less you're going to feel in terms of any kind of unnecessary pain in them. So we want to sit in such a way that we're not feeling any pain or stretching around the muscles of the knees, but we're actually elongating the back, the trunk that is, and you might feel this pulling in the hips. And I'm just kind of leaning forward a little bit. Okay. All right, then sitting back up. Let's extend out the right leg. Let's extend the right leg forward. Again, here's a place where the stretching, we need to isolate the hamstring. And just by sitting up tall, we can do that. If you've been working out at all the past few days and haven't stretched enough, you're going to feel this in your hamstring immediately. And here's a way to really make sure we're lengthening up, and that is by lifting our arms up overhead. All right, and then folding a little bit forward until we start to feel something. Like right here, I already start to feel something. All right, then we just let our arms down because we're just starting. We don't want to push. We don't want to push here. In fact, we want to let go. We want to let go of our desires to try to push our body past its limit. It's fine. It's fine to put effort into things that you want to accomplish. And yoga offers us a counter narrative to that idea of constant effort. We want to let go of the effort here. So if you're finding yourself like trying to stretch your hamstring, see if you can let go of that effort. We're just putting our body in this form for the time being and relaxing in it. Right. Try to let go of this. Here's an example of where desire can interrupt our contentment. We are content, just as we are. Things are okay. And let go of that desire for something to be better. Okay, and then sitting back up. And then stretching out the other leg, reversing the legs, reaching up. And then folding forward again from the hips until you feel that pull in the hamstring, just behind the knee, a little bit above the knee. Make sure to breathe here. Okay, and then coming back up. Let's stretch out both legs and we'll come down onto our back for a little bit. Continue with these hip openers. So Going on down to our back and drawing the knees up towards the ribs and rocking gently left and right, just to massage the muscles in the back a little bit. You know, a little massage to the muscles in the back. It's rolling left and right. Okay, and then drawing those knees up towards your shoulders. You can feel a little stretch in the hips there as you rock left and right. And maybe grabbing hold of your big toes with your fingers and lifting the feet up towards the ceiling with the knees remaining bent, continuing to gently rock side to side. And now working on just letting go of the tightness in the inner hips, inner muscles of the hips. Right? If you feel any tightness there, just see if you can soften the muscles around there and not pushing here too hard. You don't have to push your toes downwards. You're just lifting the toes up and letting the weight of the legs do the stretching for us. And lightly pressing down, lightly pressing. Okay, and go ahead and let down the feet. Stretch the arms over the head. Stretch the legs out. Stretching out the whole body. Arms overhead. You can lock your thumbs here. Stretching your arms out over your head. And breathe a few times. Okay, and then bending the elbows, bringing the hands underneath the head like a pillow. Elbows out to the side, raise the knees, feet flat on the floor. Knees gently lower down to the right side. Again, real easy here, not to try to stretch anything. Real easy. Allow the shoulders to relax in this stretch. Allow the shoulders to relax. Don't try to hold on here. For example, my left elbow is not on the floor, and I'm just going to kind of try to relax the muscles around my shoulder, my arm, my left arm, to allow it to just kind of be suspended without trying to hold it up at all, or without trying to push it down at all either. Just easy breathing here. Okay, and then let's lift the knees up and go ahead and lower them, keeping the feet together. Lower the knees down to the left side of the body. Notice how that affects the upper body, especially the shoulders through the arms. And see if you can work at totally letting go, relaxing rather than stretching. All right, then coming back up, raising the knees. You can stretch out those legs again if you're ready to do that. Stretch out the arms again over the head. Lock the thumbs here as you do that. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And then peel up. Peel the head, the shoulders, the back up off of the mat. And let's come on to all fours. We're going to come into child's pose now. Sitting back on the heels, sliding the hands forward, forehead comes down. And here's another opportunity to relax the body a little bit. Think of the practice of yoga as opposite from exercise. People often use yoga as a form of exercise, but the original intention of yoga is really to let go of the effort, consciously trying to let go of effort. We're putting effort into letting go of effort. That's the practice of yoga, is to put effort into letting go of effort, letting go of becoming. This is an important point. Letting go of becoming. Right? It's returning to our true self. And what better way to do that than in child's pose, what we're doing right now, returning to our true self. All right, and then let's make our way onto all fours. Be mindful of what you're noticing in your body as you come up to all fours. It might be quite a bit of a change for your body to do this resting and then kind of being more present, more awake as we're on in tabletop. Okay, starting to activate some of the muscles a little bit more, but not in a way that we're trying to gain something out of it, but just trying out another pose that's going to be the precursor to downward dog. All right, so ready for downward dog? We're going to curl the toes under the feet, lift the knees, okay, and slowly straighten the knees, lifting the tailbone. Working with the legs to, it's kind of, you can rock the hips up and down a little bit, focus on one calf muscle to stretch that out a little bit, but ultimately to let go of the struggle here in the pose and see if you can try to let go of trying to become, if that makes sense. All right, and then walking the feet to the hands, walking the feet to the hands, and just kind of relax the arms, the shoulders, the neck. Take some deep breaths in and out. All right, then we roll up to standing. And I really want to encourage us this morning to keep the focus on taking effort out of your poses. So not trying to accomplish something, right? If there's anything we're accomplishing, is a return to the self, a return to the true self, right? This body and mind is the true self, as it is. So it's developing a friendliness towards yourself. So let's do a sun salutation. And creep up to the edge of your mat, hands coming together. And just settling here, the palms together in front of the heart. See if you can relax the muscles throughout your body, from your shoulders on down, as well as your face, the muscles in the face. There's no need to put energy into this right now. All right, and then reaching the arms up, extending up and back, and then folding in half. All right, left foot steps, slides back. Right foot slides back. Downward dog. Okay, lower the knees. Uncurl the toes, hands underneath the shoulders. Bend the elbows and come on down. Exhale fully. Breathe your toes pointing, elbows tucked in. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And then downward dog. The left foot steps forward. And here again, really careful of that tendency to want to push through, to break through, anything like that. Right, relaxing the hips, the abdomen. No need to push or effort. Right foot steps forward. And relax the arms, the back. Come on up to stand. Arms sweep up towards the ceiling and back. And then hands descend in front of the heart. Let's do number two. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and fold in half. Right foot slides back. And left foot slides back. Lower the knees. Uncurl the feet and come down. Exhale fully. Inhale, push up. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot stepping forward. And the left foot steps forward. Sweeping the arms up. Palms in front of the heart. And pause here. Okay, and go ahead and let your arms down. Soften the arms and legs. See if you can let go of anticipation. We're going to come right down onto our back and rest. Shavasana. Make sure to enjoy your breathing as you're resting here. And then go ahead and roll over onto your front for Advasana. Just be careful of your neck. Take notice of the sensation where your abdomen touches the ground. Feeling your breath expand and contract. And truly relaxing your whole body. All right, let's go into some back strengthening poses. As I mentioned earlier, we tend to overstretch the low back, so let's do some back strengthening poses that help to strengthen those muscles in the low back. Start out by bringing the forehead to the mat, the hands under the shoulders for Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Toes are pointed and feet are kept together as we lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground, not using our arms at all to help us here. Just see if you can relax the arms, but tighten. Here's where we're going to tighten the muscles here in the low back. Tightening the muscles in the low back. And in fact, if you want to lift your hands off the ground, that can add a little layer of weight to this practice. Just like a snake, Bhujangasana means cobra pose, just like a snake lifts itself up off the ground. Right? And that spine that we have is a mirror of what a snake has. Right? So we're just lifting the head off the ground like a snake. Okay. Turn your head left and right to make sure you're not over tightening your neck muscles. Go lift your chin up and down for the same reason. All right, and let's lower down your hands, lower down your head, and relax your whole body. Relax your whole body from head all the way to your feet. All right, let's do Salabhasana, the locust pose. We'll do start with half locust pose. And for this, we could rest our chin on our fists. If you want to stack your fists one on top of the other, that's one way to do this. All right. And in the past, I've done this with my hands underneath my abdomen too. That's another way to do it. And put your elbows or tuck your arms in as close as you can to each other underneath your abdomen. That's another way to do this if you prefer. But let's I'm going to do it this way for demonstration, and we'll lift the right leg up. Again, notice those low back muscles getting tightened. So just holding the right leg up doesn't really matter how much you lift it off the ground. Just the simple fact of lifting it up, including the knee, just that simple fact of lifting the knee and the rest of the leg off of the ground, even if it's a quarter of a centimeter up from where it was, is going to have an effect on the low back. All right, let's lower the right leg and lift the left leg and hold it up there. Take advantage of relaxing the rest of the body so that the neck can be relaxed, the upper back, the arms. Okay, and lower the left leg, lift the right again, and hold. And lower, and left leg lifts. and lowers. All right, let's take a rest. Let your head turn to one side if it's not already, and relax. All right, let's try Salabhasana. Now, this is the locust pose where we lift both legs up together. You could keep your hands where they've been, or if you want to change them, go ahead. I'm going to bring mine, I'm going to straighten my arms out towards my side and lift my roll on one side, then the other side to get my arms underneath, tucked underneath my abdomen. My shoulders are somewhat rounded here, and then lifting, I'm going to lift both legs up simultaneously. Let's do it. Lifting both legs up simultaneously and hold. And release. Release the arms. Feel free to adjust your head so that your neck finds some space, some comfort, some ease. All right, now we're going to go into bow pose, Dhanurasana. And I'm going to bend both the knees, reach back for your feet, ankles, or calves, and push the legs into the hands to lift up the shoulders and the knees. Rocking a little bit if you want to rock forward and backward. That helps aid digestion in um, those digestive organs. Rock a little bit forward and backward, side to side. Get that, all those nutrients moving in the abdominal region, especially if you have a sluggish gut. This can be helpful for that. If it hurts at all, though, be very careful. We don't want to put pressure on things that hurt, make it worse. All right. All right, and go ahead and lower the knees, release them, stretch out the legs, raise right arm over the head, and use your left arm to roll. Help you to roll over onto your backside. And practice relaxation. Okay, notice the results of your practice. All right, and now let's try bending the left knee, bring it up towards the ribs, wrap your hands around the knee, lift the head towards the knee. Again, this is aiding digestion by pressing the abdomen on one side and elongating the other side. Make sure to breathe deep into the abdomen so it's expanding as you inhale. All right, and then switch the legs around and get the other leg. All right, and then both legs, bringing both legs in towards the ribs. You can rock a little bit left and right. All right, and stretching out, go ahead and relax the body. really letting go of a desire to attain something. You're okay as you are. All right, and then we'll stretch the arms out overhead. Take a deep breath in, holding it, lifting up the head, the back, reaching the arms up for the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, fold in half. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, and also the muscles in the legs. The thighs tend to, at least mine do, tend to tighten up as you're folding forward. But let's see if we can, especially the thighs, see if we can focus on relaxing the legs. But at the same time, we want to keep the hips rolling inwards, internally rotating the hips. So it requires a little bit of action there. But see if you can release that and at the same time maintain the toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Remember to relax the upper body. All right, and then coming back to a seat, we'll raise the right knee. Let's do our twist for today, stepping the right foot over the left. Get a little hip opener here, another hip opener. Right, holding on to the knee, drawing it inwards, right hand behind the back, and turn. Okay, and back to center. Release, and to the other side. And back to center. All right, wonderful. Let's go ahead and lay down on the back once again and prepare for shoulder stand. Let's do shoulder stand, our inversion for the day. Make sure you tuck in your shirt. If you have long hair, remove it from the back of the mat just so that you don't pull on it. Okay, palms of the hands are flat, arms are resting beside your body, palms face downward. Legs, go ahead and lift the feet towards the ceiling. Push into the hands, lift the low back up off the ground. Hands come to the low back, feet come towards the ceiling. Shoulder stand. Crank the feet around the ankles a few times, stretch them out a little bit. And then see if you can find a restful way to do this shoulder stand. Remember to breathe nice, easy, smooth breaths, and really focusing on not putting effort into maintaining this pose, but more on just relaxing in the pose as it is. We're not trying to maintain the pose as much as just lifting our legs up over our head and holding it there, but at the same time relaxing all the muscles throughout our body. And you might start to begin to notice sensation or pressure around the throat, around the base of the throat. This is where the thyroid gland is, and this pose helps to stimulate the proper functioning of the thyroid gland. Okay, another 10 seconds. All right, let's begin to come out of this pose. We're going to lower the feet over the head. Hands come to the low back. And we slowly lower the back down. Press into the hands. Let the legs gently come down. Grab hold of the thighs. As they come down, lift the head up halfway. Lift the chin and lower the crown. Emphasis here is on stretching the throat. All right, and then lifting the head back up, lowering the chin, and then lowering the head. All right, let's go into deep relaxation now. So find a way to lay down to help you to facilitate deeply relaxing the whole body from head to toe. All right, we're going to go through each of the muscle groups, tightening and releasing. Let's start with the left leg. Roll the left leg a couple of times. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Squeeze the left leg as tight as you can. Lift it up a couple of inches and release. Roll it and forget about it. Okay, right leg, roll a couple of times. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Squeeze the right leg as tight as you can. Lift it. Squeeze. Release. Roll it and forget about it. Okay, focus on the butt. Take a deep breath in and hold. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Release. Roll the left arm a couple times. Left and right. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Make a fist, lift the left arm and squeeze it all at once. Release. Roll it and forget about it. Let's do the right arm. Roll it. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Make a fist, squeeze the whole of the right arm, squeeze, lift, release. Roll it and forget about it. Take a deep breath into the abdomen, puffing up like a balloon. Hold it. Open the mouth, let the air gush out. Take a deep breath into the upper chest, puffing it up like a balloon. Hold it, suck in more air. Open the mouth, let the air gush out. And bring the shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing. Release. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind the back. Release. Lift the shoulders off the ground. Release. And lower the shoulders towards the heels and let it go. Hold them down there. Turn the head left and right a couple times. Lift the head up, hold. Gently lower back down. Open the mouth wide, stretch the jaw. And release. Puff up the cheeks like two balloons. Release. Scrunch up the nose. Release. Squeeze the eyes shut tightly. And release. Draw the eyebrows up toward the hairline. And release. Okay, we've gone through all the major muscle groups of the body, tightening them and releasing them, initiating the relaxation response. Let's see if you can let go even more. As you scan through your own body, you can feel your feet, relaxing the feet, relaxing the legs, the hips, the abdomen, right? Really focusing on total deep relaxation. Relax all the muscles in the abdominal region, throughout the chest, shoulders, the neck, down through the arms, down, down, down through the arms, the fingers, and the face. Relaxing all the muscles around the forehead, the eyes. All right, now taking in the whole body. If there's any place that still feels like it needs some healing or resting, send a mental signal to that area, asking it to totally let go. Now let's shift our attention to our breathing. Notice how you are breathing in and out. Maintain that sense of relaxation throughout the body as you shift your awareness to your breathing. All right, and then shifting awareness also to noticing thoughts. Watch them like a river and initiate the witness. Bring in the witness aspect of mind. So just watching the body, watching the breath, watching the mind. from a distance. And as you're witnessing your body and mind here, see if you can drop into a sense of ease, a sense of peace throughout your body and mind. If it's not there, that's okay. Just know that you're just not aware of it. It's there, but we don't often, we're not always aware that we have peace in us. So have faith, have trust in your innate peace. It's there. All right, let's begin to come out of the deep relaxation, wiggling our fingers and toes, rolling the legs and the arms a little bit. Taking in a little bit more breath, rolling to the left side of the body. And then making our way up to a seat. See how your body's doing. See how your mind's doing. Let's come back to those teachings of the last teachings of the Buddha, where he exhorts his students to be ever mindful of the passions. They rage like a roaring fire and they can cause tremendous destruction. To live a simple life, not taking more than you can eat, not taking more than you need. And we can start by looking at just how much we consume, whether it's food or other material goods, what we think we need, we don't need. Keeping in mind there are migrants that are leaving their home and all of their belongings behind to go to safe harbor. How much do we actually need? I'm not suggesting that we do that, but we can live with a lot less than what we have at present. Being willing at the very least to let go of things that might be of value to those that have less than us. Such an important part of yoga practice is generosity with our material resources. And of course, lastly, doing what we can to liberate others from suffering. All these things are interconnected. Our own passions, our desires that hurt others, releasing them, taking only what we need, like the bee in the flower, and helping others to free themselves from suffering. Let's close on that note. May all beings be safe. May all beings be well, and may all beings be happy. Thank you.